Ocean Mike welcomes everybody to our Wicked Fish Wednesday live stream. Hello there, Stormcloak Guard, and our other viewer. Well, thank you very much. It's just my ordinary jacket. The ping does not seem to be working, but I'll give it another minute or so before I start pinging because I don't want to double ping. I feel pretty lame about doing that. Anyway, let's wait for a few more folks to get online, or if any more folks do come online. Discord ping working yet? Does not seem to be. Now we wait. Hello, friend. Cloby One. Well, we have 4 folks now, so server still isn't pinged. All right, so we might as well get on our Wicked Fish Wednesday safety goggles, and we will get started with today's program. We actually have something a little bit different than usual. Per the request of Frog E, we will actually be reading a SCP entry known as Mr. Fish, or SCP number 527. Containment class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-527 is to be contained within a standard humanoid domicile at Site-19. No other containment procedures are necessary. Okay. Description. SCP-527 is a male humanoid, 1.67 meters in height, which is biologically non-anomalous, with the exception of its head, which is that of Puntius semifaciliotus, or gold barbfish. SCP-527 displays no other anomalous qualities. The head of SCP-527 functions the same as the head of any other non-anomalous human. SCP-527 is capable of typical human speech. Attached reading Mr. Fish from Little Misters by Dr. Wondertainment appears on the bottom of its left foot. Discovery. SCP-527 was discovered in Boston by Foundation agents in 2002 and was moved to Site-19 in 2004. Addendum 527.1 Initial Interview. Begin log. Dr. Baker, thank you for your cooperation thus far, SCP-527. We're just using this interview as a way to gauge any potential anomalous behavior we might not expect. SCP-527 says, all right. Dr. Baker says, to begin, are you capable of breathing underwater? No. Are you capable of communicating with other fish or with other sea-based life forms? No. I see. When did you first discover your condition? Were you by any chance attacked or bitten by a fish you did not recognize or experience an encounter with a sea-based deity of some kind? No. Well, then you've been like this since birth? Yep. All right. Do you know of any other anomalous traits you might exhibit? Sure don't. Like I told the other guy, this is all it is. You're looking at it. Lie, stripes, hot, sweetie, they got all the good stuff. I'm just a guy with a fish head. Do you have any idea why your creator might have fashioned you in this way? I don't know. End log. And there we go. That was quite a short one, to be honest. But yes, that is Mr. Fish. However, there was a little drop-down thing that says Addendum 527.2 recovered document. When asked, SCP-527 was able to produce the following document. Document reads, wow, you've just found yourself your own very little mister. A limited edition collection from Dr. Wondertainment. Find them all and become Mr. Collector. Number 1 is Mr. Chameleon. Number 2 is Mr. Headless. Mr. 3 is Mr. Laugh. Number 4, Mr. Forgetful. Number 5, Mr. Shapy. Number 6, Mr. Soap. Number 7, Mr. Hungry. Number 8, Mr. Brass. Number 9, Mr. Hot. 10, Miss Sweetie. 11, Mr. Life and Mr. Death. 12, Mr. Fish, which has been collected, as seen here. Number 13, Mr. Moon. 14, Mr. Red. 15, Mr. Money. 16, Mr. Loss. 17, Redacted. 18, Mr. Mad. 19, Mr. Scary. And 20 is Mr. Stripes. So there we go. That is Mr. Fish. Well, I am very glad that I had some sort of impact on something that you might be passionate about. I wish you only the best of luck to your biology adventure. This is honestly the first SCP that I've actually gone to the website and read. I've listened to stories online. However, this is the first one I've ever read myself. It was a little bit fun. The other ones that I've read are significantly longer. Like my favorite one that I've ever read or listened to recently is Press X to Bear, Press X to Bear, I believe. It's a wholesome one. I liked it a lot. It's very nice. It's about a little bear and a video game console. It's nice to people. Well, I'm very excited that you are going to try to work with whales. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mine, my favorite whale, it's a tricky one. Probably the beluga. Beluga's always been a favorite. But if I'm being silly, then I'm going to say the whale shark, even though that is technically a shark. So now that we have the planned program done for today, I guess I can look through older suggestions for Wicked Fish Wednesday. However, we don't get too many for Wicked Fish Wednesday, to be honest. Mainly just normal fish of the day suggestions. Oh gosh, I don't know. Um, Considering people are asleep upstairs, I do not think it would be the best idea to do that at the moment. However, tomorrow, if you are in the Discord and you do remind me, I'll be more than happy to take a voice clip and do my best sperm whale echolocation. That is true. Honestly, don't have it completely memorized. How did the ladybug taste? I was just about to answer that. I saw Lucid War's most recent suggestion. The ladybug was bitter and it was lame. Something I did in the moment that I don't necessarily regret, but it was not my best decision. Puck says, "Why don't you check out SCP-234?" Sure, why not? Bum, 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 bum. Is it a, what do you call it? Fish? So then I will do that. Extra dimensional fish. Okay. Sure, I can do that. Boom, 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 boom. SCP Foundation. Item number SCP-234. Object clad Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-234 is studied at Containment Area 06-234, which encompasses the 300-meter radius red zone of SCP-234. The main laboratory building within the red zone is built as an open-air structure, with no doors or closed windows. No closed containers or spaces of any kind are allowed within the red zone of SCP-234. Any space which inadvertently becomes closed within the red zone is to be declared a Class 2 dimensional/implosion hazard and must be remotely destroyed on site following mandatory evacuation of the laboratory area. Personnel trapped within a closed space are to be considered lost. Experimentation with SCP-234 may only be performed with express prior permission from at least two Level 4 personnel. Experimentation which introduces closed spaces into the red zone of SCP-234 may not exceed 1 liter in volume and must be treated as a Class 3 dimensional/implosion hazard. Description: SCP-234 is a species of organism of presumed extra-dimensional origin resembling fish, measuring approximately 25 millimeters in length. SCP-234 does not appear to have any eyes or light-sensitive organs, but navigates via a highly evolved sense of echolocation. It maintains buoyancy via a gas-filled organ similar to a swim bladder, which allows it to float in air. It exhibits behavior consistent with an omnivorous scavenger organism, though to date it has not been observed consuming any terrestrial organic matter. SCP-234 appears to only be able to exist within a closed, air-filled space and will spontaneously come into existence whenever such a closed space exists or is brought within the red zone, an area of approximately 300-meter radius in a remote area in the mountains near redacted. When an SCP-234 specimen is startled, killed, brought out of the red zone, or the closed space containing the specimen is breached, all matter, including air, within the closed space is immediately extra-dimensionally evacuated with sufficient force to cause a catastrophic implosion within the surrounding area. SCP-234 was discovered following a series of incident reports and disappearances of backcountry hikers near redacted. A Foundation survey team sent to the area inadvertently created a closed space with a standard adverse weather camping tent, whose subsequent implosion resulted in the disappearance of one research personnel and severe injuries to an additional two agents. Research is ongoing into how SCP 234 is capable of extra dimensional movement. Experimentation is hampered by the inability to study SCP 234 outside of closed spaces, and attempts to trace evacuated objects via the use of tracking devices has yielded no such results. To date, objects evacuated by specimens of SCP 234 have never been found again. Addendum 234 01, Incident Log 234 031. On redacted date, Dr. Redacted accidentally introduced a closed space into the red zone of SCP 234 in the form of a sealed coffee thermos. Upon opening the container, the resulting implosion startled four additional SCP 234 instances within the testing area, causing a chain reaction that inflicted severe damage to the laboratory, as well as causing injuries to six research personnel. Post-incident photographs of the remains of Dr. Redacted are kept on a file as a warning to research personnel assigned to SCP-234 as to the consequences of carelessness during experimentation. Let's see here. Stock photo imagery does not seem to be working. And that's it. That is 234. I think so. It is. Hello there, Froggy. I seem to have missed some comments. I did enjoy extra dimensional fish. Hmm. I will talk about hydrothermal vents and the development of strange aquatic life in the brine pools on Friday, as that is normal fish related uh, content. I do not know how many SCPs there are, but it seems like quite a lot. Froggy wants me to do 955, and if it is fish related, I don't see why not. B 995. Oh, 955. It's an arthropod. I like arthropods. All right, I guess we can do. Let's see how long it is. Okay, this one isn't too long. Okay, well, let's get started. SCP 955. Item number SCP 955. Object class Safe. Special containment procedures. Specimens of SCP 955 are to be contained in an outdoor steel screen kennel with a ceiling and concrete floor that provides for sufficient drainage. The screen mesh should be sufficient to contain juvenile specimens. The screen should be coated with anti-corrosives and regularly inspected for damage. Each kennel shall be of sufficient size to allow the specimens to exercise. It is recommended that each kennel contain a variety of durable rubber and plastic animal toys in order to reduce stress to the specimens. Specimens are to be nourished with 1 to 4 liters of fructose solution per day and are to have free access to clean, fresh water. Personnel are advised to wear anti-corrosive protective gear when visiting the kennel area and to avoid inadvertently making threatening movements or startling the specimens. Keepers at Site 34 have reported that playing records of soft music and the sounds of children's laughter is effective in reducing anxiety in the SCP-955 specimen housed there. If a specimen of SCP-955 becomes distressed, a keeper should first confirm the integrity of his or her protective gear, then slowly approach the specimen and make physical contact. Gently stroking the specimen's upper thorax or carapace has been shown to soothe the specimen, so like petting it. Description: SCP-955 is a species of arthropod-like land-dwelling creatures native to the temperate areas of North America. The organisms average between 20 and 200 centimeters in length and feature a bulbous head superficially resembling that of a deep-sea fish, a large mouth with extensive dentition and surrounded by a flagellum-like organs, 2 eyes on crests at the top of the head, a large single antenna-like organ between the eyes, fin-like protuberance, protobu, I always struggle with this word, protuberances. I always struggle with that word. Dyslexia always gets me. Near the back of the head, and a long segmented body plan featuring multiple pairs of legs. Pretty standard with arthropods. Juveniles of SCP-955 are a light gray in color, while mature specimens range from tan to black. If startled or threatened, the organism will lift its head and thorax off the ground while emitting a shrieking cry, then project a viscous, sticky, foul-smelling, and caustic mucus in several directions from its mouth and protuberances and attempt to flee or burrow into the ground. Mature specimens of SCP-955 are capable of squirting the mucus for a distance of several meters. The mucus is corrosive to metals and most organic material, including the tissue of living creatures aside from SCP-955 itself, and contains a neurotoxin which makes unprotected skin contact with the mucus extremely painful. SCP-955 appears to possess a level of intelligence roughly comparable to a juvenile dog. The organisms are curious, highly social, playful, and attracted to bright colors, high-pitched sounds, and sugar. Each of the 23 collections of specimens of SCP-955 from its habitat to date has occurred when one or more of these organisms has encountered one or more humans, typically in wooded but populated areas, playing fields, schoolyards, or similar places frequented by physically active humans. The SCP-955 organisms, attracted by the activity or sense, will rapidly approach the humans while wriggling its facial organs and flapping its fins and emitting a growling or hissing sound. Study of SCP-955 behavior in captivity suggests that these sounds signal excitement and a desire to interact with the humans in a friendly or playful manner. When the humans who encounter instances of SCP-955 react with alarm or violence, the organisms will exhibit the threat response behavior noted above. It appears that in the absence of mucus emission episode, dogs and children under the age of 7 generally do not perceive SCP-955's appearance or behavior to be alarming or threatening. Several children who had interacted with an SCP-955 specimen without adverse incident were asked to draw or describe the organism, with the results consistently representing SCP-955 as cute or fuzzy. Young children in particular have been observed to enjoy interacting with SCP-955, often including maintaining close physical contact with them or handling them. The specimen depicted in the photograph, together with several other specimens, had been encountered by kindergarten pupils at Redacted Day School in Connecticut. The pupils designated these specimens as Mr. Sillybug and his babies, and introduced them into the school facility where they remained for several days until they encountered a mixed group of pupils and adult faculty, with traumatic results. The diet of SCP-955 in its natural habitat is not known, but there are no indications that it is carnivorous. Here are some footnotes. Dr. Patel speculates that SCP-955 may have some effect that causes young children as a class to perceive the organism differently from older children or adults. Footnote 2. This effect appears to be an inverse of similar effects seen in SCP-252 and SCP-2662, involving fear and ritualistic devotion, respectively. There we go. He is just a arthropod fella. Might be a little bit spooky looking to most folks, but he seems to have good intentions. You are most welcome. So, I think that's going to be all for tonight. 3 SCP readings. So I hope everybody had a enjoyable evening and enjoyed the stream as much as I did. I had fun doing that. I will be doing similar activities in the future. So let's take off our safety goggles as things are toning down for the night. So, like always, I hope everybody has a safe and good rest of your night and week. I'll see you guys on Friday for Fun Fish Friday. This time will not be missed. So, everybody have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your evening. Stay safe. Feel free to leave suggestions anytime or join our Discord community. And goodbye, fishy friends.